is, well, Steve, take it away. One of those is Paris.
Mm-hmm. So
all right, you got 30 seconds.
You want to do this with 30 seconds? Okay.
All right, you got to convince the chat crew and Chris. We're going to go thumbs up or thumbs down on your 3 choices.
All right. So hit the clock and start the timer here. Kramer and Kiesling, number 1, has my attention.
Should have stopped right there.
Number 2, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It looks like Aquasphere, only pretty, BJ. Okay. It's got that circular board that does a lot of cool stuff. I have to take a look and see if the mechanisms are all going to mesh, because the video that I saw looked like it was a pretty jumbled collection of mechanics. But then I saw Stella's short and sweet, and then it got my attention again. It looks like it's collecting resources to buy buildings, move yourself up along the track, and moving yourself around with placing keys and influence, building Paris. It just looks pretty, and Kramer and Kiesling know how to make a game.
All right, Chris, sold, yay, nay?
Now you wish you had me, but then you kept talking. Jumbled collection of mechanics.
Now, I think that was mostly the video was not a great review. Stella did a better job distilling it down. Yeah.
I mean, a circular board, the art I'm seeing here sounds great. Yeah, the Arc de Triomphe featured, that sounds all great. But, collecting resources to do buildings, I need a little bit more than that. And then it's a jumbled set of mechanics, and you lost me. But
all right, it's 2 thumbs down so far.
Fair.
That's so good. Is this the one you're talking about, or that is not it?
Yeah, that's the one.
To this one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, give us your number 2. Right, so and chat crew, we want to hear from you. Thumbs up or thumbs down on Steve's choices.
Verla's with me on number 1, tied for her Essen release there with Paris. Like that one. Cloud City.
I'm just going to save this comment because every game I mention, I'm going to throw up Verla's comment. So it'll look like she's saying, that's my number 1.
Sure.
Okay, go ahead, Steve.
Cloud City, gateway filler game, Phil Walker Harding. Phil Walker Harding knows how to take a mechanic or 2 and make a beautiful game that's really tightly constructed around what he's trying to accomplish. No excess fat meat on the bone, but light. And I think he's taken the idea that he did from the Barron Park expansion that has the monorails and is building layers of crosswalks in a 3-dimensional city. So you have 3 levels that you're building up, and you're basically going to be collecting points for either building longest of those, collecting large points for having long trails that are either 1, 2, or 3 levels high. And in the review, I think it's a basic enough game that you need to or want to play it with the goals involved right from the beginning, so that you can have the extra things for making circles or having no unattached 1, 2, or 3 level buildings. This Phil Walker Harding gets my attention each time, and it looks like a good production.
So Beth says she generally likes him. Verla's in. Zach says yes. Evan says yes. We're getting a lot of thumbs up. Right. Oh, and a thumbs up from Chris. Why, Chris?
Right. Redeemed myself in round 2.
It sounds great. I mean, the focusing on a simple idea and leaning into that and building around that, that's my jam. The just Cloud City as a theme, great with the verticality.
Yeah.
And simple, honed, but focusing on something interesting and evocative. Sounds great.
Yep. I like that one.
All right, your last choice, Steve. So
last choice. Let's 50, see if 50. I'm 50-50. Let's see if I can at least stay in the middle and not be sent to the Lions here. This one I switched out. I had another Kramer and Kiesling, but I put this one in its place after seeing a short little video by Matthew Jude on this. Matthew Jude is a great reviewer, but he's also just beyond funny. Glasgow is a city builder tile layer, 2-player only. But his description at the end of the video, this is a city building version that gives you the feels of Seven Wonders Duel or Targi. It's not the same mechanics, but to have that feel where you're doing that with tile laying and building a city where you're laying out the city of Glasgow, that immediately had my attention. Those are 2 great tactical 2-player games. Targi's one of my all-time favorites. If this lives up to a fraction of that, I got to take a look.
Yeah, it's almost like he watches your appearances on the show and just threw out 2 of the games that you like.
Yeah.
Chris, what do you think? This box looks kind of patchworky to me already. Mm-hmm. I get that that's the lookout look, but
it is.
Oh, Chris gives it a thumbs up. Why do you say that?
I am a fan of games that are designed for a precise number of players because they will play well at that count. And 2-player games like Patchwork or Jaipur are some of my favorite most played games because they just sing with 2 players. in addition to have that be about city building tile lane, I know that theme is going to land with the 2 players I'm going to be looking for. So yeah, I'm interested.
Okay, now we see why he's the designer. He's in there with serious discussion and critical analysis, and I'm throwing shtick. I'm just doing shtick. I see. You actually convinced me. When a game is meant for a certain amount of people, that is right. Beth says she wants what some guy is drinking. That is true.
Yeah, that art is interesting.
She's not wrong. I think it's Clemens Franz.
Ooh, something to think about here. Thumbs up, says Dean, but he's nervous. Glasgow, too light.
I don't think it's heavy, but I don't know that it's in the ones. It's probably low to mid 2s, is my guess.
All right, Steve, I think you acquitted yourself. 2 out of 3. Not bad. Let's bring, I'm going to send you back down, and let's bring Verla in. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Hello, Steve. Hold on. Let me bring Verla in. Let's see where she is. Hello, Verla. Say hello, Verla. We're here. There she is.
Hey guys. Hi, Chris.
Hi.
So, Verla, you've actually been to Essen.
I got to go last year, which is why I didn't go to Shucks last year, because couldn't do both. But it was really awesome.
Well,
yeah, it was fantastic.
Let's hear your games. You know the rules. An elevator pitch shorter than even Steve did.
And they'll be really short.
You got to convince Chris, and you got to convince the chat crew. Let's see what you think.
That's Bonfire out there, right?
The first one is Bonfire. Yeah.
Pictures of
No. Oh wait, that is Glasgow, huh? Oh, sorry.
Is that
is Glasgow. Let me see if I can find yours.
Trying to find that. I'm definitely with Steve on Paris. That is like tied for my #1 along with Bonfire. I am a huge Feld fan. This one's not Aaliyah, and the artwork is way better than the Aaliyah game.
Talk about a difference, huh?
It's totally different. There's tiling. I keep reading that it's very puzzly. I've read nothing negative about it yet. I haven't watched any videos because I tend to tune out, but I just get excited when it's Feld. So you're gnomes in this game. How can you not like that? And you get to play as a gnome. Gnomes are adorable. So
Verla's first choice is Bonfire from Stefan Feld. Chris, what do you think? Bonfire.
I heard puzzly and tile lane. And based on that, I want to hear more, but so far good.
All right.
I'm going to say a lukewarm good. Is that about right?
I need a little more to sell me, but that's a great start. It's a good opener.
Evan says he loves it for the designer. Patrick says.
Yes, Patrick. Thank you.
That was pretty easy, Patrick. Oh, that's nice. Does it come with kindling, or do you have to bring it? She says Feld plus gnome, and she is in. So okay, so that's off to a good start. #1 for Verla. Let's see what we got on your next one, Verla. Do I have? Is it right?
I think you have it there. I don't even begin to know how to pronounce that. Praga Kaput Regni. Who knows? But it is about building the city of Prague, and I studied there in grad school for a summer, and so that. I don't even know much more about the game than that, but that's what's got me hooked. So that's probably not going to sell you, but that's in my top games.
Kevin gets the comment of the night. Stefan Feld's best game involving gnomes.
Yes.
Clearly the best.
Love it, Kevin.
So Praga Kaput Regni. What do you think, Chris? You heard the elevator pitch.
Johnny Pack says it's going to be awesome, and he has great taste in games, and I tend to love games that he plays. So
she throws a 3-pointer with 2
This is going based off of Johnny Pack's high recommendations that he keeps throwing out there over and over in all the Facebook groups.
What do you do in the game? How do you build Prague? Like
I don't know. I don't know. I can't wait to find out though.
We know it's really heavy. Dean, that's because you had this in your list on your show. Of course, that's home cooking, Dean. But he does. Wow, Beth likes your choices here. Yeah, pretty heavy game, Chris. That's all we got for you. We know it's heavy, and we know it's about building the city of Prague.
I mean, pretty heavy building a city in Europe. I'm gonna lean towards no, without like something more to pull me in.
Does this help out a little picture of it?
I do like that picture quite a bit. I have no idea what it means, but
you could try to build Charles Bridge and the university and all of the cathedrals. Okay. It's beautiful.
That's throwing me off. She says there's gnomes and castles. I think I have like 48 plays of Castle of Burgundy. I don't remember ever seeing those, but maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe that's why you always lose, BJ.
Oh, bite your
Left with the gnome power.
Yep.
The gnome power.
Big opera house in Prague. I've never been. My wife's been to Prague. I don't know. Is that right?
Yep.
That sounds right.
We sold. Look, Chris, this is all Patrick needed: tiling and historical together. So
I do like tiling.
Go read the designer diary on this on BGG. It's really, really interesting. And the designer was born in Prague, and
No,
I hate all those. So yeah, it's in my queue of designer diaries to read.
Nice.
Kaput Regni would be the king is dead. He's kaput. He's got. I'm not sure if that's right. So, Dean says check out the Slicker Drips video for Praga if you want to get a chance. All right. So, last one, a game I've actually played.
Oh.
So yeah. So Verla, I want to hear what you have to say on it.
I love the West Kingdom
And this is
games.
This is Viscounts of the West Kingdom.
Viscounts of the West Kingdom. When they started talking about that online and said, the West Kingdom universe here and bag building, I got really, really excited. And there's a rondelle and set collection and that fabulous art by the Miko. Look at that board. That just looks amazing. I cannot wait to get my hands on it and just figure out what's going on.
Look at that modular board there, Chris. All right. So what do you think? Has she sold you? Are you a Shim Phillips West Kingdom North Sea fan?
I don't think I have any experience with that at all.
All right.
I like the cover that I saw. I like the font. I like what I'm seeing there. It sounded like a lot of mechanics all in one, so I'm expecting something pretty heavy. But bag building is fun. It is visually appealing there. It's like drawing my eye in there. So I don't know if it's going to be like too much, but right now I'm going to give it. I'm interested.
Nice.
Beth says she's voting because of the word Viscounts, but she hasn't played enough West Kingdom games to say if she'll love it. Horizontal thumb up. I played it with Alex and with Joe from Stonemaier Games. Let me see. I enjoyed it, but I played it on Tabletopia, and I played it on a little laptop. So the screen was about this big.
Don't even count that.
Wait, I didn't bring a mouse. And if you've ever tried to play Tabletopia without a mouse using the little trackpad,
why would you do that to yourself? Why?
I was on vacation in Gulf Shores, and I get this text from Alex saying, "Hey, we're jumping on." So, I can only do the beach so much. After a while, I got to come back into place and play a solo game or something. So yeah, Alex texted me. I jumped on and played it. I liked what I liked what I played. You know what it's got, Chris, which is kind of cool. It's got, she said the rondelle, but it's a weird rondelle where there's an inside loop and an outside loop. And you have to keep diving on the inside or diving back to the outside or diving on the inside. I've never seen that before, or at least I don't remember that. It was really interesting. It's a typical Shim Phillips design where there's lots of resource conversion and getting that engine going is really how you're going to win the game. Now, I'm terrible at those kind of games, but I do like them. I love the art from the Micho. I think he's got a distinctive art, although the new Raiders of Scythia, man, I love that art. And as opposed to Raiders of the North Sea, if you've seen the new version of it, it's a little upgraded version. The mechanics are a little bigger, and I love that new art. So we got some comments here. Paladins I've played, haven't tried Architects.
Architects is my favorite so far. I wasn't crazy about Paladins because it was very solitaire and a little heavier, but I'm really hoping that Viscounts is the best of the three.
There's more player interaction in Viscounts than there is in
Paladins.
In Paladins. So, all right. So, Chris, you gave it a
tentative. Yeah, I mean, look at that on the table. Like that is, I would go over and be like, "What is this game?" I would check it out just because the table presence is really catching. Playing that on Tabletopia, I think I've had a nightmare about that. Like that looks like very fiddly, and trying to do that digitally with a trackpad. No, thank you.
No, look, I agree with you there. That is a tough one. All right, Verla, hang on here. I'm going to do my three, and we can get your comments on that and Chris's comments. So, my three. The first one, and I literally picked this because of the cover and because it's from Portugal. Some of my ancestors grew up in Portugal. I'm a De Silva by ancestry, and I saw Caritos. Caritos is a game that I can give you in one simple pitch. It's Monsters, Inc. in Portugal. You flip the script, you're the monsters, and you're scaring the villagers away. Look, that's it. That's all I had to know, right?
Yeah.
So, Verla, Monsters Inc.
I'm intrigued. This is the first time I've seen the cover for this or even heard of it. So I'm totally interested.
Yeah, I wish I had some more pictures. I do have more pictures. If you go to the blog post about our top 8 Essen Envie, you'll see more pictures from Karitush, and I guess Americans would say Karitush, but they pronounce it Karitush. But it's got this cool looking board, and there's a really cool mechanic that I like. When you're playing cards, you're going to play a card to take an action, right? And they're all different set type cards. If you play the card you want, you get that action. The next time you come and play a card, if that card symbol matches a previous card that you played that it's laying on it, it makes the action stronger. So now I got to decide, am I going to play the action I really want, which is the wrong symbol, or am I going to play a lesser action but make it stronger? And my opponents know that. Are they going to starve me of those cards? So look, there's not a lot on it. There's a 3-minute video from the publisher Meebo Games. But I've got a copy coming in, so I'm really excited about playing it. So we'll see that.
Let us know how it is.
No, Dean and I are thinking about doing a video. This is not the 2020 Disney release. It just looks so. All right, so that's Karitush. The next one is Durian. Chris, I'm going to say it. It's an Oink game about it's Oink games using Hanabi mechanic with a gorilla staring at you. Why aren't you filling the fruit orders fast enough? I mean, do I need to say more? If you know anything about Oink games, you know it's a little tiny box, but it gives you that big experience. I wish I had a picture of this. It's all this colorful fruit. You and your fellow players are running a fruit stand, and this gorilla is just staring at you. And every time you get the orders wrong, he yells at you. Here's the problem. You can see Verla's cards. You can see Chris's cards. You can see BJ's cards, but you can't see your own. Everyone else can see you. So do you keep adding fruit orders thinking that, well, everybody's putting in more of the pomegranates? I must have 3 pomegranates here, right? Right? I have pomegranates, right? And then, of course, the gorilla yells at you. So that's Durian. I love Oink games. I don't like everyone they produce, but I just love what they do. So, Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, no, that sounds great to me. Oink games, they're not going to take up a lot of space, and that counts for a lot.
Yeah.
As I've tried to trim my collection over the past however many months, that gorilla is giving me nightmares already about its stare of disapproving.
Right.
And just social engineering and trying to figure out what's going on. That sounds like fun. That sounds like a game I have fun with.
You know what's the problem with these games, Verla? The Button Shy and Oink games, you can't get rid of them. If you have a backpack or a drawer, you just put them in there. They don't take any space.
Yeah, it's great.
All right, so what do you think, Verla? Durian?
Thumbs up for me.
Okay. Ooh, I think I'm doing okay at this one. And the last one, it's actually an expansion, so I kind of cheated, but I love Era Medieval Age. It's a roll and write, and it's super overproduced. You didn't need any of this stuff. Matt Leacock originally designed it with no pieces. It was just a roll and write. But somebody at Eggerspiel said, "Oh no, we got to make this into plastic and goodness and all this board." I hate the board. That ugly yellow board is terrible. They could have done green. At least it would look like landscape. I don't know why we're in the desert when we're building out this medieval kingdom. But what it needs is expansions. As crazy as that sounds, with all the stuff you get in the box, it just needs more and more buildings and more dice. I didn't get the original expansion because the price of the game are expensive enough, but it was just kind of a little tiny box expansion. This is the first real expansion for it. They came up with a very clever name. Anybody can take a guess? Era Medieval Age expansion. Yeah, so wow. I guess they paid a marketing department $1 million to come up with Era Middle Age expansion. I don't know if that's the working title, so I'm kind of jawing them a little bit. I don't know, but that's what the PGG entry says. So that's my elevator pitch. If you like Era, more Era. Good. What do you think? That's it. Oh.
I'm gonna go. Okay, so I've played Era, but I've only played it once at a con, and I thought it was fine. I had a problem with the components. It actually shocked me that the board was that illegible, given that there was one. what I see here is some sweet looking renders. Immediately I'm like, oh, this looks like fun. I want to play with it. But then I'm like, those are some renders and it's not going to be as good as I want. And do I really want, I don't know. It's just a whole bunch of plastic. It's going to take up a whole bunch of space.
It's rivers. It's bridges. It's roads.
It looks so adorable. It hurts. I want to make little things, but then I'm going to be sad.